Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Our next guest is a Jane of all trades and master of many. A life transformation coach, a speaker, best-selling author, TV and podcast host who through her work has helped countless professionals, entrepreneurs, and business owners fulfill their goals professionally and personally. She is the CEO and founder of Yudy Veras Coaching and a two-time best-selling author of the Becoming of a Light Warrior and Breaking the Glass Ceiling anthology. She is also the host of Inspírame podcast. Everyone, please welcome Yudy Veras Bueno.
Thank you for having me. That was a mouthful.
I'm used to it. And you know what? You deserve to be recognized in every light that you are operating.
Thank you so much. Well, it was exciting meeting you at Lehman College where we have that event. It was amazing. And you have such an amazing personality. I love it. And the work that you're doing it's really something that we need more of. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, that engagement was really, really nice and impactful, right? I loved the variety of women that you presented, the different occupations that were presented, and then the similarities in operations of being women, some mothers, and then multitasking and being able to manage like every aspect of their lives. So it was very relatable for me.
Yeah, it's when you have to wear like different hats, and it's interesting how we can do it. Really, it's amazing the power that we have as women, the power that we have as women of color in our own culture, and how we can share those similarities. Because we, as humans, we're more similar than different.
I agree.
And that's my mantra, right? Let's find, you know, what each other is powerful, like what they have to give, the value they bring. And the anthology is about that. And I am so excited about this anthology because a lot of these women, a lot of them are some of my clients. We have become deep, like friends. Like it has become more than a book. It's a powerful thing that had happened
It's
in
a
our
movement.
community.
It's a movement.
It's a
And I
movement.
say that because I got to tell you. All right. So first of all, we had Jacqueline Vasquez on, right?
I know. I
Okay,
love her. She's my sister. I love that woman.
She's a powerhouse herself,
Yes,
right?
she is.
And so she introduced us to this book, but when I read it without even knowing that you coordinated it, I said, I want to know her. I said, "Who's that?" Right?
Who
And
is
she was
that?
like, and then of course it revealed itself. And then when I met you, I said, "Of course, it makes sense. It makes sense." And I got to tell you, you're everything I anticipated, right? Because it takes something to be a woman in a certain role and be able to bring everybody together and highlight and lift and empower all simultaneously, not one at the head.
No, and I think that is so important as a community that we come together, like we as a Latino, right? We come from 33 different countries, and we're not all the same. We have our differences, el sancocho, tú sabes, la música, all that. But when we have these values that are very, very uniting, like we have these family values that are the core of who we are, right? And we care about our community. I mean, I just saw your interview with Isadora, and that was, I was like, yes, let's do more of that.
Yes.
But also getting together like with our African American community.
Right.
Like we have so much similarity. We can do so much together.
Yeah.
Right? And that's my thing. So
Well, we're people of color.
yes.
Right. We all have culture, right? And I love the reference of sancocho because sancocho is made different from everybody, right? Because
Exactly.
everybody has different variations of sancocho because sancocho is basically, the poor people's food. It's the, let me find what's left over in the refrigerator.
Yeah, and then put it together.
Yeah, right. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, that's where the flavor comes from.
Ese es el sabor.
Por eso
Yeah,
mismo.
you got it.
Yes. And so I kind of experienced that at your conference, right? I know this particular book, this anthology features 21 powerful Latina champions, and they all come from different backgrounds. I mean, I met, I think, an attorney. I met real estate professionals. I met someone who is a doctor, doctor, with a linguistic doctor.
Yes.
It was a nice variety of women who were all empathetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they do all care about healing
Yes.
our communities because there's so much suffering in our communities, right? And so sometimes, we are working so hard and doing our things that we're kind of like, tunnel vision. And then when you look around, you realize, oh my God, like what's going on? And I think that, all these experiences from the last 4 years, it's been very, eye-opening. Is like, okay, you know what? We're part of this amazing, beautiful country. We are what, 62.5 million Latinos. 19% of the population of these beautiful countries are Latinos. It's like, where are we? We're underrepresented, and when you are underrepresented, it's the stereotypes come in, right? Because somebody else is telling your narrative, telling your story. And that's why I'm so excited about Isadora.
I know.
I'm
Isadora.
like, you're speaking my language, but
Yes.
yeah, I need to have her on my podcast.
Yes. And I'm sure she'll watch this, and I'm happy to connect you two, right?
Love that, 'cause we
again,
need more of
she
that.
took charge of it, and not only is she the star of it, she's the executive producer of it, which means she took a risk. She took
It's
a
a
risk, and
huge
that's an
risk.
important factor because she went and took a loan out.
Yeah.
Right? So she's banking on herself.
Yeah, and so it's like we having those projects, like we all doing, because we realize what's going on and how important it is that we do our part, and that we cannot be waiting for somebody to invite you to a table that maybe we will never get invited to. So, boo, let's create our own table, okay?
Right.
So when, thinking of the anthology, it was that, it's creating the platform of giving our people a voice where like they can tell their stories. And you have read it, these stories are powerful. And I have to make like ¿cómo se llama? Una aclaración. It's like, it's 21 women, 20 of them are Latinas. One of them is what I call I love my gringa. She is a wonderful Rosemary Young who wanted to be part of the book because she believed in our cause. And I wanted to do that on purpose because we need allies.
Right.
We need people who can help us, right? So
Yeah.
I just wanted to make that clarification.
And so here's the other part. So you have this book, The Becoming of a Light Warrior, and that came first.
Yeah.
Right?
That was my first book.
Right. And so in this book, what really resonated with me was this statement of being referenced as La Bruja Científica.
Yes. That can get me in a lot of trouble.
But I love it. All right, so we'll say shaman, okay?
Yes. So I have, my father was a shaman, un curandero. He was also well known in the political realm. He was also, in the coffee industry. This man was the man of the community. And it was about healing our community. And so for many years, I felt like I was called to it, but I was so afraid. I wanted just to be like a normal human being. I wanted to work in corporate and do all that stuff, and I did. And it wasn't really, it didn't work out. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
And then there's a point in your life that I call it the pool.
Right.
Like you have a pull, you have a call.
Right.
And the call is just keep on coming, right? And I felt like God is giving me this. It's not a job. It's my mission. It's what I do. I live it every day in everything that I do because I believe that every human, belonging is a human right. And when you don't feel like you belong to something, then it feels isolation. And isolation leads to depression, and it leads to, like you don't have productive humans.
Right.
Right? And isn't that what we want?
Right.
We want productive humans, people that can add to the value to our society, to our
Yes.
community, to our country.
Yes.
And whether we like it or not, we're part of this beautiful country. We're part of the fabric of what made this country amazing, right? And the thing with Latinos, yo siempre digo eso, it's like we're a little naive, at least I am. We do believe in the American dream.
Right.
We come here because we believe that we can do so much better. And we put our heart into it, right? So I believe that belonging, all we want, I tell everybody, all we want is to feel like this is home.
Right.
That's all we want.
Right.
We want to feel like we belong because what the opposite again? Isolation.
Right.
And what happens when you get isolated?
Right.
you know?
Yes.
And then we have so much talent. I mean, look, I just met these people from Coquito.
Right.
It's like,
Coquito's getting shouted out in this
I know,
episode.
but we all love Coquito. Like, I love Coquito, but like,
We
I
all
hope
do.
that I get some, like, some Coquito in the side, who knows. But the idea is that that's the model that we follow, right? Like, if you look at the statistic, like, I believe it's 30 to 36% small businesses, Latino open more small businesses than any other group. And that tells you something.
Right.
We come here to work. We come here to give value. We and so we want that. It's all we want. And
Oh,
so,
I got so engulfed in everything you're saying that I forgot to read this one particular paragraph, which I think you kind of tapped into, right? Because it has to do with like research. That research shows that the challenge does not reside in a lack of education. Rather, this is due to the imposter syndrome phenomenon, underrepresentation, misrepresentation, and stereotyping, which hinders our ability to grow and hide behind a veil of invisibility, perpetuating discriminatory behaviors. And that's us amongst each other that you're referencing.
amongst each other, within our own community, we're not doing, I think we need to do a better job on getting together, but also amongst other communities that are really having a hard time seeing us.
Right.
And when it comes to imposter syndrome, here's why representation is so important, right? Why the psychological effect of not being represented? Well, it's that you don't see yourself. You don't think, it's not in your mental paradigm that
Right.
you can do those things. Now, I see a Rhina Valentine.
Right.
And guess what? They're like, you know what, Judy, why don't we do a TV show, right?
Right.
Because she's doing it. She
Nice.
is courageous to do it. So representation is important because the psychological effect is invisibility.
Yes.
We feel, and you know, una cosa que yo entiendo, and look at you, like you embracing the flavor of what it means, right? Latinos were not made to be invisible.
Right.
We don't like that stuff.
Hello, I came with
It's not
feathers.
in our DNA. We were made to like be on the spotlight and like, look at me, boo, okay?
Hey, Jack.
I had so much to bring to your table that why don't you invite me? And like we want to be part of the party, okay?
I know, and you know
So-
what? And you and I can keep going and having a party, but our time is already
know.
up. I know. That's why I got to come on your podcast so we can talk for a longer time. But everything you shared is so inspirational and educational. So thank you for bringing it here to us, and thank you for putting it in books, right? Because these books are available for you guys to pick up. And I know you also offer coaching services, but The Becoming of a Light Warrior and Breaking the Glass Ceiling anthology are available anywhere books are sold. And once again, we have Yudy Veras Bueno, life transformation coach, speaker, best-selling author, TV and podcast host. And as I mentioned, both books are available anywhere books are sold, and you can also listen to her podcast, Inspírame, on Spotify and Apple. All right, for more on Yudy, visit yveras.com. Stay tuned, there's more open when we return.